It's week 1 of the National Football League, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Caps and the Saints, and it's all up next.
From a city that has hosted 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Today, it's the opener of the 2023 NFL season, as it'll be the Caps of Buenos Aires taking on the New Orleans Saints. With my good friend Charles Davis in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and the moment has finally arrived, CD. It's time to begin a new NFL season.
Partner, there's no hiding my excitement as I got ready this morning. I could not wait to get here for this game. Imagine what it's like out there on the field for those players, though. OTAs, training camp, preseason has all led to this moment, but they officially kicked this one off to get the season underway.
Season of NFL football is here, and we're off in 2023 on EA Sports. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Rodgers. He completes it to Julio Jones. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Rodgers going to throw. Out route, he finds his man. It's Jones. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 2nd down. A guy coming off his best season as a pro. Here's Nick Chubb. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 3rd and 9 here. Here's Rodgers to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when there are bodies on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 18. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Herbert. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
It's got to feel good to hit on one of these in the first quarter of a brand new season. They're hoping this duo can really make some noise this year. And this is a great start. A big play here early in the ball game.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Cole Kmet, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. Second down and a run by Robinson. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And his throw is incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
On 2nd and 10, the ball back with Herbert. Shoves him aside. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Herbert off of play action. His throw incomplete.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. But Nick Bosa so quick on the outside, he gets in there to bring him down.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. And we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But 2 kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't. I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different. And I really wanted the special teams coaches to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about, this is the other one, guys can now wear the number 0. We've already seen some make the switch, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, Braxton Berrios, amongst others.
Yeah, and you know something? When you see those guys make that move, I don't mind that at all right? A little more expressionism for these guys. I love it. I just think we didn't go far enough. What about double 0, like Jim Otto used to wear or Kenny Burrow used to wear? Let's add that back to the NFL jerseys.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Short throw caught by Dulcich. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And he'll be close to another first down. In fact, he has a first down on a gain of 10. A nice pickup there, 10 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to Robinson now on first down. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Arnold Ebiketie gets there for the stop. 2nd and 5. Here's Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Herbert. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. A chance for a first touchdown drive of the year. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Robinson. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Back to throw here, Herbert. Touchdown! Sterling Shepard from 8 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Drops it off for Chubb. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Rodgers now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch.
I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety.
I'm not sure they mentioned it as a goal during the week or even talked about it in pregame, but the way they're playing right now, they want this game out of reach by halftime. Not only does the safety just demoralize the opposing offense, now your guys can run out there and try to add another 6 to their lead.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. On the return is Pettis. The Buenos Aires offense back out now. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On second down, here's Herbert. He's got this to the rookie, Rashee Rice. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Herbert. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Still on his feet. And touchdown. Rashee Rice with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Caps are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. What a first quarter. Boom, you're up 3 scores just like that, and the offense clicking.
And they're thinking to themselves, we can totally overwhelm this team. Now flip it over. They're going to get the ball back.
Yeah.
Can't panic here. Talk to yourselves one play at a time to try and get back in.
And that's cliche, but really that's the message. This is still very early on in the game. We're in the first quarter.
If you look at it as down 20, then you almost have no shot.
And Thomas just going to hold on to this one. It's a touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. They find some open field here. And this will wind up a Saints first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played. You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Down to the 41. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession from the 41. Here's second down and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. Meanwhile, Rodgers throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Holding. Offense.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Bijan Robinson leading the offense out for another drive.
The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Going to throw on third down with Herbert. And that is incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
4 yards the pickup, first down. Throwing is Rodgers. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that will bring up second down. Here's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be fourth down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he missed it. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
And the Buenos Aires offense back out now. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now this offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. James Bradbury there to make the tackle. Now 2nd and 5. Herbert now. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That one caught by Rice. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, couldn't go for it, but as you said, they picked it up. Back to the ground with Robinson. Tackle made by Zaire Franklin.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's Herbert now on second down. Incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now it's Herbert. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Buenos Aires offense back out now. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, that's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Some touchdowns on their first 2 drives, but looking like that won't be the case here.
Yeah, it looks like someone put their dukes up a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe decided to finally make a stand because those first 2 drives, they got run over. Now, finally, got their feet under them, got a little bit of balance. They're getting off the field.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. On 1st down, Rodgers. Oh, Everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. After the turnover, here's Herbert. A quick throw, but incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And Thomas just going to hold on to this one. It's a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete, and he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. This offense so far on 3rd down, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. There's the stiff arm. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 73 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Rodgers to throw. That's taken in by Dulcich. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Same connection. Dulcich once again. And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Rodgers going to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And his kick is good. We'll remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Buenos Aires about set for another try on offense.
They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself, because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
Over the middle, that's caught by Rice.
They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first. Here's Herbert. That's out wide here for Robinson.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's second down.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's a 2nd and 8. Herbert. And this one complete to Smith.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And a dump off here to Robinson. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, an NFC South matchup between Atlanta and Carolina. And it's the Panthers who are out in front. Nelson Aguilar, well over 100 yards with 2 touchdown catches to boot. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Robinson up the middle. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 62 yards rushing for him now to this point. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 3. Here's Herbert. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
Defense.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Hand off now to Robinson. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Here's a 2nd and 5. Job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. Rodgers now on 1st down. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 53 yards. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Throwing is Rodgers. Finds Dulcich out left side. And the Saints are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Here's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Drops it off for Chubb. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal. And again, it's Rodgers. Touchdown, Saints. Greg Dulcich from 10 yards out. And the Saints get a bit closer. So a very important first drive of the 3rd quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts
the lead a bit further. So they go with the pass, and it works there on the two-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on two-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a two-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And he returns this to the 22. Buenos Aires about set for another try on offense. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Caught out left side by Robinson. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
First down from Evans, still one of the most dependable receivers in the NFL. 9 seasons, all above 1,000 yards, and he's climbing career leaderboards. Already in the top 50 in yards, top 30 in touchdowns.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 4. Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Rodgers. He finds his target. It's Evans. He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
The Buenos Aires offense back out now.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Herbert off of play action. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35.
It's a big play there. 41 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the give, here's Robinson. Fights loose. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he rifles one incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Herbert now. And it's caught. Touchdown. Rashee Rice making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Caps have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On play action, now Rodgers. Look at Mike Evans' way again, and he's got another one. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mike Evans, 72 yards. And the Saints are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the 2nd half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Buenos Aires offense back out now. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. They work now on 2nd and 9.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Herbert goes right back to Smith again. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. To the air again, Herbert. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And he's got this down to the 35.
It's a gain of 10. And Buenos first down.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And Thomas just going to hold on to this one. It's a touchback. On 1st down, Rodgers. This is caught by Evans. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mike Evans. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, get that water break and get on out there and play.
This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Rodgers now to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Throwing is Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
Brings up a third down and 10 yards to go.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's fourth down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
Well, the Buenos Aires offense back out now.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Robinson with another carry.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
12 yards there and a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter. But the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game. And trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now it's Herbert. And his throw here is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Fights off the defender. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
From the 23, here's 2nd and 5.
Throwing now is Rodgers.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
7 yards there and a first down.
shotgun now for Rodgers.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Now Rodgers.
And this one caught downfield by Evans. Now he's into the clear again.
And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Rodgers to throw. This is caught, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Second and goal from the 1.
Chubb is in. Touchdown, New Orleans.
For as good as Nick Chubb is in the open field, he's every bit as good when they line him up down near the goal line. He's a speed back between the 20s, but a power back down close, and he forces his way into the end zone.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT.
And the lead is down to a field goal now. So the drive there took 6 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Here's Dante Pettis on the return.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Buenos Aires offense back out now. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Over the middle, complete. That's Rice. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Second down and a yard.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. Here's Herbert. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And it's second down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Well, running down with Robinson.
Down to the 41.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now it's Herbert.
Open man right side is Rice.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll run for it with Robinson.
And he is going to have a first down here, and that should be the one that seals a victory.
And they will take a knee here. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Buenos Aires,
it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.